What's going on, guys? Crypto Hoy here, and in this video I want to do something different. I want to share I basically want to give my 2 cents, my thoughts on this video, on their I guess their advice that they're giving this caller. And I just think that there's it's kind of like against what they usually teach on their channel on Fresh and Fit. Because usually they're trying to say for a guy to become high value enough and also be in shape and check every checkbox that women typically search for, so that you're able to cheat, right, and sleep around, because that is a privilege you need to earn. You need to work for that. But the advice that they're giving this guy is kind of like the opposite, because they're saying here that you're wasting a girl's time, that, you know, all this stuff that he's doing, that he's just wasting her time, holding her back. And I'm going to play the clip here in just a bit so you guys can watch. I'm not going to play all of it, but I will have the link down below so you guys can go check it out. But basically, Fresh and Fit are telling this guy that they're holding her back and wasting her time because he's not disciplined, he's not consistent, he's, you know, he's not making a decision. But at the same time, it's okay for you to waste a girl's time, all right? For you to hold her back if you're high value enough, okay? And so let's first roll the clip here, and then we'll go furthermore, because I did commented this here on this video. So we'll get to that here in just a bit. But first, let's roll the clip. And real quick, guys, if you guys get value out of this video, make sure to give it a like and subscribe if you haven't done so yet. And also hit the bell so you never miss another video, another updates. Let's roll the clip.
Rob, 8103,
All right.
Go ahead.
I can meet you, by the way.
I'm in a 4-year relationship. Started when I was in 20 and she was 19. Basically, long story short, we started the relationship. I was pretty well off. I was 20 years old, had a salary of $90K, was doing mortgage. COVID happened, mortgage took a tank. Lost my job, had a lot of investment income, about 40 grand, and I became 21. Decided I can drink alcohol now, and became an alcoholic. I got pissed drunk a lot, and I'd wake up, where the fuck am I? My girlfriend, however, was always there. I feel like she really showed her loyalty. There'd be times where she cleaned me up from the throw up, and it was really bad. I even lost a tooth, and she was still there. She's still here. And I picked myself up. 3rd year goes by, and I got a job. Job ended up scamming me after a year. I lost 20K. Credit got shot down from 770 all the way to 430. Terrible. And I have more debt from there. She's still here. She's still kicking around. Now we're going to fast forward to our 4th year, which is this past couple months. I got a new job. It's in sales. I'm pretty good at it. And I've been in it for about 8 months. And so far, it was just more focused on me getting back on my feet, paying off a lot of that debt, and just trying to get back to a foundation. I told her I'd focus more on her. I'm a big workaholic. We probably spend 2-3 hours once a week. It's pretty bad. But a couple days now, here's the situation. A couple days ago, she brought up, we got into an argument. She called me, and she basically saying, the whole summarized of that argument was, Andrew, I committed into this relationship. I stuck by your dumb ass. I'm still trying to figure out, what have you committed to me? And basically what she wants is me to show her some type of commitment, to show her that, hey, I do want to start, you know, get married to you at some point, start a family with you at some point. And it really made me question myself. And basically I have just a quick couple points. I really need some help from you guys. The first point, Myron, if you want to write them down, because it might get lost in the sauce here. The first one is, I feel like I lost my purpose, and I'm struggling to find that consistency and discipline. One thing she did bring up that hit me hard was she said, Andrew, you don't know how to commit to anything in your life. You've never committed to, you're on and off at the gym. You're on and off with your trading in stocks. You're on and off with your job, and then on and off with me. And that really hit me hard. So I figured, like right now, I'm deciding whether to sign up to the military to get that forced in discipline to me. I'm 25 years old, just turned. Or maybe I'd take up, you know, some martial arts and instill some discipline, maybe some jiu-jitsu. That's the first point, is me struggling to find purpose again. My second point is just, how do I know? I really don't understand this. How do I know if I'm in love with this person? Or is it just me showing that, you know, that surface love of caring for them, wanting to protect them. I do love her, but how do I know if I'm in love with her like she is for me? And then my third point is, am I selling myself short by committing this early before my chance of potentially peaking towards my 30s, by wanting to settle down with this woman when I know I'm going to want to other girls? I really do. I see it. I see it on Instagram. I see it in person. I'm like, damn, she's bad. Damn, she's bad. Maybe that's just a guy thing. And then lastly, I do care for her. So at the same time, I understand she has a ticking clock too. She understands that too. She knows by the time she's 30, it's going to start, you know, ticking away. So her biggest thing is she doesn't want to waste no more time after 4 years. So I don't want to waste her time either.
Bro,
and
I'm not going to lie, man. Man to man, you're a piece of shit, bro.
Cool.
I'm not going to lie.
All right, so you just heard like the first part of this clip. So basically he's saying, you know, his issue that he's going through, and I'm pretty sure a lot of guys must be going through this, but basically this girl has stuck with him through like good and bad, rich, poor, like has stuck through his side, okay, like ride and die type of chick, okay, which is a good thing, right? And it's very hard to find. So she has been through him at his worst, and she hasn't left him, because if we were to be honest, a lot of girls, unfortunately, in the modern dating life that we see here, a lot tend to just leave. On the small, minimal problem, they just leave you, they leave the guy, and they move on, right? Try to find something better. But in this case, this girl or his girlfriend has stuck around him for everything, right? The good, and especially also through the bad, which is difficult. Now, the problem is that she's pretty much now demanding from him, like saying, hey, look, I've been with you at your worst. I'm committed to you, but I don't feel, or I don't see that you are committed to me. I want some sort of commitment. I want to have kids with you. Basically, I guess indirectly telling him to get married, okay? To have a real commitment. But the problem is that since he's 25 years old and he is now barely getting back up on his feet because he did lose money, all right, he's now being able to, I guess, recover financially, going back up. He's kind of, you know, at 25 years old, he's seen that perhaps he can, you know, he wants to sleep with other women pretty much. So he appreciates her to a certain extent, it looks like, but at the same time, he wants to, you know, explore. He wants to sleep with other women. And that's where Fresh, he gets mad and he calls him that, you know, he's just a piece of crap, because how are you going to leave her, you know, a type of woman that is hard to find, just because you want to sleep around with other women, right? That has not stuck with you like she has. And this is where the problem lies, okay? Why? Because this is where I commented here. And I'll just read this paragraph, and I also put here timestamps to use as reference on my response or my comment here. So let's start here. And I said, if FNF or Fresh and Fit considers what the color is doing as holding her back.
So let her go, bro, because you're just holding her back.
As holding her back for wasting her time and stealing her youth, because Fresh also mentions that here.
You're basically robbing her of her youth and her time. And I think on some level as a man, bro, like, it's disrespectful. You know what it is? It's kind of like you are literally just stringing her along to benefit you, but it's actually hurting you in the process.
Basically that him not making a decision and just I guess leading her on, I guess, in a certain way, is stealing from her youth, because he hasn't made a decision to commit with her. And then I pretty much make this question, and I said, how is this different to a man sleeping with multiple girls with no intention of marrying any of them and adding to their body count? In other words, if what this colored guy is doing to her, right, that in spite of her sticking with him through good and bad, in spite of her even cleaning his vomit when he was drunk, lost money, she was still there, like she was a ride or die type of girl, right? In spite of all that, he's not willing to commit with her because he wants to sleep around, and that's considered as holding her back, wasting her time, stealing her youth. How is this different to a man who does exactly what they teach, okay? Who does exactly what Fresh and Fit teach, which is, you know, increase your value and do precisely this, you know, sleep around. How is that different to a man who actually does that, okay? Sleeps around with multiple girls with no intention of marrying any of them and add to their body count. In other words, you're stealing from the girl's purity. You're stealing from from their youth, okay? Because remember, he even said it, that women are in the ticking clock, and they also say that, and I also agree with that. Women are in a very short time clock, okay? They have a certain amount of time for them to actually have babies, you know, in good health. You can women can still have children in their 40s, right? Can still have babies, but the risk is higher than compared than when you're young. And also, men tend to seek more younger women, right? Women, they don't really care if the man is older. In fact, women prefer men who are older. But basically, she's on a time clock. So she really needs for this guy, the caller, to make up his mind like, hey, I've been with you. When are you going to commit to me? You know, I want to have kids with you and all this, have a future with you, but I want commitment. Okay. And that's basically my question here. How is this different, you know, wasting her time by not making a commitment with her than to a man who sleeps around and adds, you know, body count to her, like, you know, adds more body count to her past. And then I also mentioned here, it says, but based on FNF ideology, it's only acceptable for a man to waste multiple girls' time, aka cheat, sleep around, if you're wealthy and a Chad. Otherwise, you can't demand that type of privilege.
Anyways, you got to get your value up, bro. Yeah. You want to have multiple women and you better go in the gym and have a fucking Chad body, ripped up, have money, all that shit, bro. Yeah, I'm telling you, man. That's the only way you'll be able to, you know, have it where you got a harem of women that respect you and admire you and are going to be loyal to you while you go out and do what you want to do, man. That's the...
Basically, he's saying that, look, the only way that it's acceptable to waste a multiple women's time, okay, is if you have pretty much you check every single box, okay? And he views it as a privilege, okay? You cannot demand that to sleep with multiple women and have a girl and have them loyal to you, and I guess in some sort of way, unless you're wealthy and you're a Chad. In other words, maybe you have a certain amount of clout, you're a provider, you're in shape, right? You got money, you're a provider, protector, whatever, right? You provide security in every single way, but you provide security, and money and protection and everything except for commitment, except for loyalty, faithfulness, okay? And so, like I also mentioned here as my last sentence, that yes, I agree that the caller needs to be disciplined, and that is true, needs to be disciplined and consistent, but viewing cheating for men as an earned privilege rather than an infraction is where the problem lies. So these guys right here, and I'm not gonna say all of red pill, but a good amount of them, they view cheating for men as a privilege or a reward or compensation for their hard work, as long as you're a high value man. And high value, they define it as many things, but usually it's a guy that has money, or a guy that is in shape, or a guy that women tend to seem a guy that is attractive, either money wise or look wise, all right, or socially wise as well. Could be like clout, or maybe a celebrity or something like that. So as long as you're a high value man in any of those aspects, then it's okay for you to go ahead and waste the women's time, okay? Take away their youth. But if you don't have that, then you cannot. That's basically what this video here sums up to. And yeah, feel free to share your thoughts. What do you guys think in the comment section down below? I just find that funny that, you know, they're promoting this on most of their videos, you know, about guys increasing their value so that they can go ahead and sleep around with no commitments. All right, just sleep around and take away, you know, their purity and, you know, and their time. And this is crazy because they're all about finding girls, not to marry a thought, or not to marry a 3 or 4, right, or a girl from the street, you know, not to wife them up because they're not worthy, right, because they have a high body count. But how can you demand a purity from a girl when you're contributing to her high body count? That's what doesn't make any sense. It's like, how can you be demanding a girl not to have a high body count when you're out here adding those numbers to her body count? You know, you're adding those mileage to a car that you don't want to commit to, right? You don't want to finance or nothing, you know, as an example here, but hopefully you guys get the idea here. And that's what, it just doesn't make any sense. And yes, I understand. You might say, you might respond to this by saying, well, women are the gatekeepers of sex and men are the gatekeepers of relationship. And that is true. The problem is that a lot of men are trying to like knock down those gates to try to go in, if you know what I'm saying, right? If you know what I mean. And then you might just end up blaming the women by saying, well, she's the gatekeeper of sex. Then why is she opening the gates? Well, these guys keep knocking over there, or guys that are like-minded, okay? I'm not saying necessarily like these guys, but if you are not wasting their time or like stealing their youth or their purity, some other guys that think similarly to you are, and that's going to affect your future, because now maybe you like this girl and maybe you plan on, like having a future with her. But once you find out what she slept with a whole bunch of dudes, oh, she's disqualified. But maybe she wouldn't be disqualified if she hasn't done that, right? Maybe she would have qualified, or at least be some sort of candidate, right? For you to perhaps have a future with her, have a commitment, not necessarily like married, but at least have a faithful commitment, right? Just exclusivity, one-on-one, if she didn't have that many body counts. Or even, well, I wouldn't say virgin because it's very hard to find that nowadays, but at least have a significant low body count, or whatever you consider to be low. I don't know, it could be 2, 3, or I don't know. But the math doesn't add up when you're expecting purity and you're out here, adding more body counts to her past. It's just, the numbers just don't add up. And this is just my 2 cents here on this video, on this clip. And again, I'll have the link down below so you guys can go check it out. Thank you again, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.